End of the radio listening to us. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Gboyega Olaniyi. This is
and Tuesday. From 8 o'clock in the morning. You can be sure to find us here, ready to take you around Nigeria, look at some socio-political, socio-economic issues that affect us as Nigerians. Of course, if you'd like to be a part of Panorama, you can listen as you already are listening, but you can also go one step further and drop us a comment on our social media pages during
station, in particular, the seat of the governor.
While parrying questions about Ogun West, the contest for the Ogun West senatorial ticket in the forthcoming 2023 elections came up, as did the question of who the people's mandate lies with for the governorship ticket. The intrigue surrounding Lagos Senator Olamilekan Solomon Adeola's alleged intention to clinch the Ogun West senatorial ticket came up, and of course, what this would mean for Prince Gboyega Nasir.
We have with us a media aide to GNI, Mr. Bolaji Adeniji. Joins us live in the studio this morning. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Feels good to be here. A pleasant morning to listeners at home.
All right. And we also have, interestingly, also from that part of Ogun State as well, West, veteran journalist and public affairs commentator. We have Dele Ayodo with us in the studio this morning as well.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ogun. Good morning, Nigeria.
And it's been a while. It's good to see you again.
It's nice being here once again. I'm sure you understand. Those outside may not, but I'm sure you understand.
I do, absolutely. But let's start with you. The program yesterday was meant to, primarily look at, just like we mentioned in our prologue, a purported marginalization of the people of Ogun West, just like the Southeasterners have also continually talked about marginalization in the frame of things in the political space in Nigeria. So let me ask you first, do you believe that indeed the people of Ogun West in the political landscape of Ogun State are marginalized?
My brother, friend, colleague for a long time. I would have been very comfortable if you bring somebody from the other side along with it, so that it won't look as if we are.
We brought someone from.
No,
the other
I mean
side.
with me.
Oh, okay.
With me,
okay.
so that it won't. What marginalization means, what it does, was the other ministry they will give us. Agree. However, talking about marginalization, what does that mean? Simply to me, the people on ground in a particular area are not getting what one should be commensurate with what they deserve. Two, what should be comparatively at par with what others of the same status or the same position with them get. And that's exactly what it is in Ogun West. Let's leave education alone. The spread, you say secondary, primary, tertiary. Yes, historically we know how Polytechnic Ilaro got there, and historically we know how we have been fighting to have the Polytechnic of Ilaro in Ilaro elevated to become either a degree awarding institution or a full-fledged university. We see what has happened in other areas. Yes, they say we have ICT at Igbesa, but again, what is that status compared? Because I told you the two yardstick to me, in which I measure what they call marginalization is. Let's look at employment or industry opportunity for that. I say to you, apart from OTA, I'm also going to talk about the marginalization, even that as well. In fact, the disadvantage, supposed to be an advantage, the OTA division or OTA area that has industry. And of course, the largest in the country, perhaps the fourth in the country. That's another area of marginalization, because if you have the largest in the state, not in the country, the largest in the state and the fourth in the country, and yet people still suffer, still queue to get employed. People still suffer, still sweat to get good road. People still suffer, still sweat to get any, with emphasis, any public utility that could be said to be a standard. I think that is pure marginalization. That's why my people, the young ones, go for smuggling or inter-border trading. There's nothing to do there. Whatever development, I say to you, or 95% of the developments you see in that area are privately done by those who hustle, the individuals are not. None from government. What else do you say that, call that? And yet, a large percentage, that's the other division where I talk about, of industries money, the so-called IGR, comes from. Until it takes the people to sleep on the road in Ota before government begins to do palliative. Yes, palliative is on. I won't deny that. I go there all the time. Only yesterday, by the grace of God, by Friday, I'll be passing through many of those areas. What stops government after government? Oshoba, yes, I agree with him. It's there. Rural development. Part of road. Two key things Nigerians need to appreciate the government. Not very much. Two key things. One is the road, which is paramount. Once you give them road, people will almost forget every other thing, because that in effect has a spiral effect on other developments. So once that one is there, it's almost like you are marking the government as 70% fail. The connectivity that the immediate past administration said they were going to do from Ilara to Ipokia, I don't know. They're just there, Dustin and ST. They've been doing Ilara Owode Yewa since, God knows, 2019. I'm not sure they've done 9 kilometers as I speak. That's the road I use every time. Again, I was on that road yesterday. By the grace of God, I'll be there on Friday. So I'm not just talking from out of the blues. It's from what I see. Like I always say, see Mark. That's what I do. We can go on and on and on and on to talk about what marginalization means to our people. And because they don't feel belonged, they will continue to be restive. And they will continue to do things that seems to go against the government. It's simple as that. It's a natural law.
All right. Let's get to Mr. Bolaji Adeniji now. Your principal has tried to be governor several times. Is it with a belief that with political power, he could remedy this, marginalization that has been talked about by Dele Ayodo here, but I guess yesterday, and trumpeted by many people too before now?
Well, good morning once again. There's always a connectivity between political power and development. They are mutually exclusive because of the capacity of the leader who superintends over policies, superintends over programs of government, and it's a prerogative of the leader to determine where and what his priorities and objectives are within the scope of governance. And just like I said, whatever direction he decides that to be will indeed reflect on what becomes a dividend of democracy to the people. It's always easy for government to justify wherever they tilt the pendulum of development. After all, it's all within the same state. And like they say in Yoruba land, there's no way that you're going to have that you won't plow in your direction. It's a good standard. And if you also look at what the existential situation on ground today in Ogun State, you will discover that the two other senatorial districts that have produced the governor of Ogun State in times past are far ahead in terms of development and access to government patronages over and above Ogun West senatorial district. So it's simple, straightforward, that the backwardness of Ogun West within the committee of Ogun State in whole is a reflection of the fact that one of theirs have not had the ultimate political ascendancy in Ogun State in the last 42 years now. the state has been created. So it's basically the reason for it.
Now, it is presumed that whoever clinches the senatorial ticket for the 2023 elections in the APC will have the best chance of becoming governor in 2027, because what is expected is that the current governor is going to run for second term with the support of the party. So whoever intends to take over from him within the same party is the person who is going to, as I said, clinch the senatorial ticket for the 2023 elections. And your principal has declared his interest in that particular ticket. There's a current incumbent, and then there's another senator from Lagos, Senator Yayu, who we mentioned as well, who has also shown interest in this. Do you think there's anything that gives your principal leverage, given that there's a current senator who is occupying that position, as well as another senator who has considerable support?
Well, thank you. Before I actually answer that question, I would like to create a perspective. I would have even wished that I'm not here seated and trying to speak on behalf of a party, of a principal, as it were, because I'm also a stakeholder in Ogun West myself. I've been a party officials in times past of different political parties, and I'm also a stakeholder. And therefore, some of the things that we see, okay, it's a reflection of the realities in that environment, and not because of a particular politician. Having said that, you see, it is not cast in stone that whoever becomes the next senator of Ogun West will not become the governor of Ogun State in 2027. No, that's not the situation. I am sure by 2027, we are going to be having aspirants from other senatorial districts coming to lay claim. The Egbas will lay claim, as it were. Maybe even the Koi Jebu may lay claim, as it were. So, and there has never been a time really that you have not had people from all the senatorial districts vying for this same office. Okay, but what we have always been saying in Ogun West has been that, guys, you guys have to probably, try to organize this system to produce an Ogun West governor, deliberately so. Not that you just create a system that constantly coerces Ogun West and puts them down. And so that's what we have always been asking for. But they're not going to leave that field open for us. And so, well, I think we're now coming to your question. The issue is this. Before now, the agitation for Ogun West for governor has always been in the front burner whenever elections are coming in Ogun State, especially over the last 2-3 cycles. You want to be governor because of the unwritten code that, okay, the governor is going to have a second term, and so therefore let those who want to become governor in Ogun from Ogun West step that down. And so the next office, which is the Senate seat, has now become the ball for them. And that's why you have these people trying to vie for that office, and they see it. Maybe you are just a shoe-in once you are the senator from Ogun West. And by the time the governor, presumably, if he gets a second term and is leaving office, it is assumed that he's coming back to Ogun West. And therefore, whoever the senator there stands a good chance. Maybe, though it's not cast in stone. Because I'm sure, because democracy presupposes that it is a free choice. It's a free enterprise for people to get in. By that time, you may have somebody who's not the senator from same Ogun West that may want to vie for governorship. So the senator from 2023 to 2027 does not have the exclusivity of right to become the next governor from that from Ogun West. But as it is today, one of the reasons why there's so much noise and agitation is, first off, because of what you have said, and then because of the personalities who are involved. The context, the issues, the core issues are the
about this contest about the Ogun West
Yes.
senatorial district seat. But let me ask you, I also asked this question yesterday. Has Ogun West done enough as regards handshake across board, as regards building bridges, as regards establishing relationships that could eventually ensure that Ogun West, eventually someone from Ogun West eventually becomes the governor? Dele Ayodo.
My answer is straightforward. It's no. I don't think we have done enough. What we've had is sentimental pursuit, and then believing that our other brothers, our brothers from the other divisions will accede it to us and understand. But that did not take the fact that Ogunwes deserve to be governor from the history. Like Bolaji has also said, whoever becomes anything, not just governor, in terms of election, is not cast in stone as we see it as it was. Whatever we are saying now are just permutations, which are right. This will be if this is, this won't be if this is not. But as political observers, analysts, I think it's just apt for me or for us to use our yesterday to build our today, and then look at what tomorrow, predict appropriately what tomorrow will be. That's what we are doing. So if you look at sentiment here, you may say they've done, they deserve it, we deserve it, that's right. The first election in Ogun State was 79. The man who became governor was Ijebu. The next election, 83, Ijebu. The next election, 92, Egba. The next election after that, 99, Egba. The election after that, 2003, Remo. And then the next election after that, 2011, downward and downward. So we had how many elections now? About 9 elections. Now, because, like I said, there is a correlation between who is the governor and what the area gets. It's maybe that area does not exist when Olusegun Obasanjo was governor. In 2003, Otunma Gbenga Dadel ensured that the road from Shagamu to Abeokuta was fantastic, a smooth one to ride on. 2011, when Ibikula Amosun, we see what happened to the entire Abeokuta city. I'm not sure that Gboyega Nursery Isaka will become a governor and he needs to travel to Imeko regularly, or people have to come from Imeko, and then he will leave Abeokuta Imeko Road the way it is. That's why some of those things are important that you have with the people. I'm not sure that will happen. I'm not sure Iyayi becomes a governor and then he leaves Abeokuta Okiata to Ilaro Road or Abeokuta Ota via Owodeyewa to Ilaro Road the way it is. I'm not sure because he will have to use it regularly. Interestingly, even if he wants to neglect it, the Ministry of Works and the community in that area will do it for Oga without his knowledge. So those are the benefits that are almost automatic. So that's why some of those agitations are correct.
But with the state of things as we approach the 2023 elections, do you think that bridge building, are you seeing it? You know, you've mentioned that you don't think that has happened in the past. But as we approach
the Yewas and the other
Ogun West and the other, parts of this.
You see, part of the issue we also have that people have also talked about is that we have not really had somebody in that political making who can do that as a diplomat for us. If it's, let's say, the position of a CEO, company CEO, or a managing director, and you need to sit for interview and get it, I'm sure nobody is as qualified as GNI to get that position. But our politics and election is far, far away from that. In actual fact, it's far, far away from the election and politics of America or the United Kingdom. So that's where I think we have not been able to achieve that success. We need, like Baba Basanjo, who said, he did Jago lawyer, or what he used the language. We need a politician in Nigerian politician style to actually do this for us. If Amosun did not play the way he played in 2011, he wouldn't be governor. If he just sit down in tie and coat and suit or whatever it is and portray the position of a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Accountant, a butter boy or so, he perhaps will not get it. That's the reality. You don't have to agree with me, anybody, but that's my feeling. And that's what we are not able to do to match the other people.
All right, we have to proceed on a commercial break now. But when we get back, we'll get back to Mr. Olaniyi, maybe even for the rest of this conversation, so that we can make sense of all of the other issues. Please stay with us. This is Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM.
Don't dare touch that dial. It's Splash, your integrity station.
gbogbo olóríire o ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ pọnmi sílẹ̀ dòǹgbẹ ọjọ́ ọ̀la bí a ṣe ń rántí àjíǹde jésù káwa náà tún rántí ohun rere tí a fi àsìkò náà ṣe easter promo ńlẹ́lẹ́yìí láti iléeṣẹ́ sought after project wọ́n ní kí ẹ wá ra island estate tó ń ta wàràwàrà báyìí òpópónà kọbàpẹ́ lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ estate muhammadu buhari 300 square meter 400,000 naira nígbè ìtàn rẹ̀ 500 square meter 500,000 naira ń nìyẹn o 600 square meter 700,000 naira ńlá tà yẹn náà ẹ tún láǹfààní láti sanwó lẹ́yìn díẹ̀díẹ̀ láàrin ọdún méjì gbáko yálà ẹ san tán lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà tàbí ẹ san díẹ̀díẹ̀ ẹ̀yin ti láǹfààní àti gba voucher ọ̀fẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ fi jẹ̀gbádùn ara yín ní àwọn ilé ìtajà ńláńlá káàkiri pẹ̀lú àwọn ohun tẹ́ẹ̀rà tí ó tó 20,000 naira ẹ ṣáà fọkàn yín balẹ̀ suite 100 4th floor omida shopping complex ìbàrà abẹ́òkúta ẹ pè ọláyínká sórí 08127447054 08127447054 sought after project and services limited ọdún àjíǹde yẹn á sọ kútú wọ̀wọ̀ easter promo ìparí oṣù kẹrin ìlànfààní yìí mọ́.
You want to bamba? You want to chill with the big boys?
Do you really want to chill with the big boys? You want to bamba? It's not just by mouth. You have to do the talking with your look. Bossy Luxury got you covered. For all trending and exquisite wears for real men, walk to the store to pick your slides, trousers, bags, boxers, sneakers, wristwatches, spectacles of different brands. The store is located at down floor Emmanuel Plaza, opposite Idera Pharmacy, Onikoko Road, Pansheke, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Or call 0906 085 2480 0906 085 2480. There is also 20% discount on the day of opening this Friday, 1st of April 2022. What's Luxury, where your luxury lifestyle begins.
You want to bamba? You want to chill with the big boys?
Getting a land from a reputable real estate firm is one of the best decisions to be made when buying land. Homeland Estate is here to make your dream of becoming a landowner with ease come true. At Homeland Estate, our lands are affordable, accurate in size, flexible payment options, steady electrical power supply, genuine documentation, accessible roads to each block with guaranteed security. Avail this opportunity of becoming a landowner with ease today. At Homeland Estate, our estate locations are at Kobakwe, Iduri, Ofada, and Alabata. Iduri Phase 1 is now selling fast for 650,000 naira. Kobakwe for 850,000 naira. Get in touch with us today. One time, and you'd be the one telling the story of a wow experience. Homeland Estate is located at 24 Ladubu Street, Okelewu, Abeokuta. For more inquiry, call 0702 500 0637 or 070. Homeland Estate.
Just yesterday, mentioned a number of issues. I'm not sure if you listened to the program, but he talked about how Ogun West has continually given their goodwill to GNI and how the issues surrounding Senator Yayi's, purported interest in the Ogun West senatorial seat are also, do not hold water. So where do you stand in this regard, that Ogun West cannot continue to give their mandate to GNI, who has contested the birthrights or any political seat at that? Is not the birthright of anyone.
He has spoken within the limits of his understanding of the issues, of the competing issues in Ogun West, and some of the intricacies that determined the ticket of Ogun West since 2011. It does not understand it because it was not at the deep end of the game. Some of us were there, and the issues that eventuated somebody like GNI getting the ticket of the PDP and subsequently PPN in 2011, okay, was different from what happened that made him get the ticket of the PDP in 2015 and how he found himself contesting with ADC in 2019. There are different seasons, different issues, different players, okay, that he was fortuitous enough, okay, to be at the vanguard, at the front of carrying aloft the banner of Ogun West in terms of that this zone has to produce the governor, cannot be his own doing alone, cannot be what anybody will now accuse him of. Okay, in 2011, very quickly, it was a product of former Governor Gboyega Daniel, who felt that this guy is brilliant enough, he's from Yewawori, I think he's learned the ropes, he has that understanding, okay, let me push him out. That was not his own doing. It was a product of a political within the party. The people, the likes of Buruji Kashamu went to court and they were able to put Olaniyi on that ticket, and the Daniel group don't have any of it, and they took their structure to PP. The majority vote went to Amosu. Was that his doing, undoing? No. In 2015, okay, he got into PDP. He got the ticket of the PDP. It was a straight fight, straight battle between Ibikunle Amosu and GNI. Okay, that was a straight fight. And it was very competitive and it was contentious. We all recall what happened at that material time. Do a pan Yewawori vote and put our voice in one place and put somebody, one of us, and elect him as governor. Let's even put that aside. And let's come to 2019 here. What happened? GNI emerged the candidate of the ADC. Honorable Abdul Kadir Adekunle Akinlade was the candidate of APN, while we had the Remo man, the current governor, as the candidate of APC. The vote that Dapo Abiodun won with was about 19,000, over and above the vote of Adekunle Akinlade. All right? And the totality of that 19,000 votes can be domiciled within Yewa South local government and Ipokia local government, because the votes, the total number of votes that Dapo Abiodun scored in those two local governments was far above 19,000. So who are the people that made those 19,000 votes? They are Yewa people. So if the people of Yewawori have not talked to themselves, have not encouraged themselves to exercise their franchise in proper support of any of theirs at an election, how can that be the fault of somebody? And so that the young man said that Ogun West cannot keep investing themselves on a particular person is fallacious, is lack of knowledge, it's far from what the issues are. Okay, so it's not about Ogun West people investing on somebody. Somebody himself as it's about even Ogun West being showing gratitude to somebody who had carried that banner aloft for 3 times at huge cost and personal sacrifice, that Ogun West have to do this thing. What happened now? Jena is not contesting for governor today, and therefore nobody else is even saying that Ogun West wants to be governor. If he had gone to another party today, I'm not saying I'm supporting Dapo Abiodun as the proper party man. Ogun West should be great. That is the definition of why GNI gets the ticket per time. And what is happening right now at this material time is for him to say, hey, this thing is not a do or die affair. I am stepping down this ambition. I am supporting my brother, the governor of Ogun State, to go for a second term as a proper party man. And I want to become contest like GNI. That is incontrovertible. Because of that environment, countless times he has campaigned, he has told his mandate, and he has contributed to the evolution of that place over time. And he's saying, I want to use that knowledge of that environment, the needs of the people, the aspirations of the people, and the desires of that environment, to say, let me go and serve at the Senate and use the platform to galvanize and facilitate and fast track development, at least within the prism of what a lawmaker can do at this material time. So that's why he has put his hand in the race, and he has that inalienable right to seek it.
So the issue now with, Yayi also, throwing his hat in the ring, that also came up yesterday.
Well, I wish I don't want to talk about Senator Yayi really, because it's been the issue in the last few days. I've been on more than 4 or 5 platforms talking about it, and if there's any noise over the last few weeks, it's because of things I've been saying on here. And you see, I have no personal issues against the Lagos senator, as you have just mentioned. It's a function of morality. It's a function of legality. And it's a function of what is good, what is just, what is fair, and what is equitable. I would not so, because why? Indigenship is a matter of constitution. There are foundations for it, there are provisions for it. That's number one. Number two, I'm not the one to say somebody is my family or it's not your family, or whether you belong somewhere or you don't belong. More so that there are people who have claimed to say it's our brother, it's our son. So that's not an issue. We are not going to that. And over and above that, the traditional institution in Ogun West, especially the Olaniyi, have ratified this indigenship that is our son. So let that rest. We won't go into that. But the reason why some of us in Ogun West are saying no, you cannot be electorally eligible in Ogun West is because, number one, in the last 20 years, you have been contesting in Lagos State. You are electorally anchored in Lagos State. Your state of origin is Lagos, your local government is Alimosho, and you have voted a total number of 5 times, filling forms. And as we are talking this morning, you are still holding the mandate of Lagos West as the senator representing that environment. Now, why that mandate subsists, you are now saying, I'm from Ogun State. I also want to become the senator of Ogun West. And you want to contest a primary and also hold that. Somebody was in a position in one state before, went to another state and contested. Those 4 examples he gave are non sequitur to what we currently have in Ogun State. Let me give an example. If somebody was a commissioner in Lagos State, that was an appointee. I can be so appointed in Osun State or in Zamfara State to come and supervise. Jimmy Lawal is the current special advisor to, what's his name? El-Rufai.
On economics matters.
On economic matters. He's from Ogun State. He wants to contest for governor now. And he has come back and nobody's dragging anything with him. Aregbesola was a 2-time commissioner in Lagos State. He finished that mandate, and there are provisions that sustains that mandate that is holding, and there are also provisions that can guarantee you to become a candidate in this coming election in Ogun State. And the question to ask yourself is that, can somebody now validly hold these 2 multiple mandates? And that is what is assaulting the psyche of some people, some sections of people in Ogun West. It's not about hatred. It's not about that it's not their son or our son. No, we have even moved beyond that. Okay, but we are asking ourselves that, is this right? It is not.
Or is it a case of your principal being scared of, whatever structures, just briefly before we get to the phone line?
Well, that would be laughable. If there's anybody that the political class in Ogun State, I'm not even talking of Ogun West, okay? I don't want to use fear, but are always concerned about when elections are coming, it is because of Gboyega Nasiru Isiaka. He's on ground. I'm not sure that there's any politician in the 236 wards of Ogun State. He's the only person in the APC today that calls meeting that has not had one thing or the other to do with GNI, except to just come in. So it's the one to be feared or to be considered, to be factored, not him getting afraid of anybody. He is not afraid. There's no competition.
Do you think that a consensus option, which is a very real possibility, will favor the principal?
Well,
for the
there are provisions: direct primaries, indirect, and consensus. Consensus is a function of the elements within a political environment agreeing that this person can best represent our interests in that party. But consensus must also be done within what is legal, within what is constitutional, and within what is morally puritan. And I like what the constitution has done. Before now, what we call consensus is pure anointment and imposition, whereby leaders will say, we have chosen Ayodo to represent us, and it's our consensus candidate. And or we represent our we have succumbed to him, and that has to be ratified in some form of convention on the ground of that environment. It's in the amended Electoral Act currently. And so the consensus as we are talking now is not going to be open to anointment, as it were. It's going to be a function of true agreement with us.
People would delete and maybe even block you. So please try as much as possible to be civil. 0704 400 1067 0817 444 1067. Keep your comments strictly to 1 minute, because we have just about 9 minutes to do this, and also take closing thoughts as well. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Yeah. I want to greet, in order to contest, like I said yesterday, the primary motive was to become the governor via that Ogun West channel. And that was why I wanted to contest for the Senate. I want to ask Mr. Dele and the other person in the house, will this not cause another confusion that will deprive you people of the same seat you are buying, you are begging the whole of the state for? Will it not deprive you people?
All right. I guess the question is clear. Please go ahead.
I want to appreciate the two guests in the house, and I also want to make a kind of a history. The people from Ogun West, from the analysis that the other man gave, the GNI guy gave. But the reality is that this thing is not just now. Even in the days of BC Onobanjo and Odunjo primaries, the same thing played out. It was on record that Ogun Central supported Yewa, but even the people of Yewa supported BC Onobanjo. So in that region. Then secondly, which I think the people in the studio, I want them to attend to, are we so sure that the people that we bring from outside the state are acceptable to the people in Yewa? That is one. Then two, are the people in Yewa involved in deciding who exactly should represent them? Or is it just a clique, as we have all over Nigeria, deciding who should stand for the people? Because if you want the people to support them, they need to be involved. If they are not involved,
you have to wrap up
them
now.
To support. You have them to support. It might be an effort in fertility. Good morning.
All right. Good morning. Thank you very much for your contribution. We'll take one more call, and then we get to comments on social media as well. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Timothy from Abeokuta.
Please go ahead, Timothy.
Yeah, please, in my own take on this issue, I would like to inform the media is that I want them to do their assignment very well. They know how to do it, they know what to do. Because the issue of them trying to drag anything with the If the AI has the audacity and the guys from their Baba, if they go, and then I will go back, maybe they will just compensating with one special advisor later. They should do their assignment very well. You can't tell us you are contesting 3 times, you've not gotten the seat, and now someone is coming from somewhere, you are scared. You shouldn't be scared. Do your assignment very well. You know what to do. Don't tell us you know what to do. Go to Asiwaju, tell him, Baba, Eshele, Atigba, go join Egba and Gbehun. Oh, Tosibe. But for me, if you will come with the full force of Tinubu, then I will just go and have the seat. So that's all.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. Can you briefly just respond to some of the questions raised so that we can...
Okay.
I think the first person talked about if I lost that first.
Whether the competition is healthy for
whether it's
the interest
confusion
of
yes.
or no, which I don't think so.
Well, normally it is deleterious when people who are supposed to be family in a particular environment, get daggers drawn and then it's all fight and fight. It doesn't help anybody. What we want is actually peace. It's politics. It's not a personal issue. But then when things happen and it portends that it does not just serve the interests of some other people. What we're talking about is not even legal, it's not constitutional, and it's not morally right. Then it brings about protestations and contestations as we are seeing currently. But it's not a personal issue. It's a matter of the process that is on ground. And of course, politics is about contention. What you want, I want, and then we'll fight for it. So that's why there's that noise. At the end of the day, it will be resolved. Somebody will become the candidate of the party, and every other person is conscripted to work for that candidate. But before then, we must fully express ourselves on all the issues as it were. The other person talked about that it's not right for the man to come. Well, that is in alignment with our thoughts also. Not because it is about, like I keep telling people, there's Honorable Abiodun Akilade. He wants to contest for Senate. We are not talking about it. It's a good competition. Let's go on. The incumbent may even also want to contest. Fair enough.
He wants to
contest. Great. JNI wants to contest. Great. Let them work fine, talk to party people, whichever method the party adopts. Anybody that wins, we are fine. But the reason why the fourth one is a contention are what I have told you. On those 3 bases, it is not right, and that eligibility can never be there. It's not about indigenship, but it's about morality, legality, constitutionality.
Well, I have a different position, but with due respect, I may be older than Bolaji, but politically he's my leader. He started politics from the womb. Anybody who knows the history will know that. So I'm not surprised with his well-articulated solution. However, I have a few differences from the association. One, Yayi has the constitutional right.
How? Where?
To contest. Did the Nigerian constitution say you cannot move your constituency to anywhere? Our vice president just moved his from Lagos to Ogun. So, or did the constitution, where did the constitution say because you are constituted and won or win anywhere, you can no longer contest anywhere? We like to model our counter election to develop country. You know the number of American presidents who moved their states originally to the Clintons, even Ronald Reagan moved from different states.
As a result, they lost in that environment.
Well, I've not seen anything that is wrong in it, morally or otherwise, because he's not alone in it. It's not just Yayi. It's the movement. It's the end. At the end, is the people's vote who will decide.
Definitely.
At the end of it.
At the end of it. Today, and I'm sure there will still be more. We have 4, not just. Like I said, Biodun Akinlade wants to become a senator. The incumbent, Odebi, wants to return. But people are not looking so much at that too. It's because these two are Trojans. They've come a long way. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that they've established themselves politically.
We have
but to say morally otherwise, Yayi cannot contest. I don't see all the any of those things. Today is actually the machinery. Personal opinion, I've also discussed it, is that I talk about if it's a position of MD or CEO, of course, no one is as qualified as I. The candidate, the governorship candidate of PDP, Jenai would defeat Dapo Abiodun. That's what I see in all his movement. That's something missing in his political strategy. No, go. I don't have that ability because I don't look at it. My situation for any of them is a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Well, we do
Well,
have
as
to.
far as we know, he's throwing his weight behind the current governor.
Yeah, no, he's supporting the governor as a party man.
I said I'm talking of my own half, of course. He cannot do otherwise. He's a party loyalist.
There are still several things that will come into the picture, I'm certain. If the party or parties decide to go consensus, we might start seeing some individuals decide to pitch their tents with other parties, but it's still a long way to go.
Yes, it is.
But we just want to ensure that you have your right of reply. Facebook here, I'm certain maybe on WhatsApp too.
It will always be. It will always be.
We'll get to them after.
ẹ̀rọ Fúnṣọ́ Bákàrè mo ti pé ọmọ 58 years. àbámọ̀ ńlá kan tí mo ní ni pé wọ́n fi ilẹ̀ kan lọ èmi àti ọ̀rẹ́ mi ní nǹkan bíi 28 years sẹ́yìn 40,000 naira ní plot ilẹ̀ yìí kan. ọ̀rẹ́ mi ní ká gbìyànjú ká ra bíi éka márùn-ún nínú owó tá a ní lọ́wọ́. ṣùgbọ́n mo ní mi rà nígbà tí wàhálà ọ̀rẹ́ mi yìí pọ̀ gan-an lẹ́yìn tí ó ti ra éka márùn-ún tiẹ̀. mo ṣáà gbìyànjú ra plot méjì ní 80,000. lẹ́yìn ọdún díẹ̀ mo nílò owó ńlá kan tó pọ̀ láti bójútó iṣẹ́ ńlá kan tí ilé iṣẹ́ ńlá kan gbé fún mi. nígbà tí mo sọ fún ọ̀rẹ́ mi lẹ́yìn ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì ó ní kí n wá ó sì yá mi ní 54 million naira. ó wá sọ fún mi pé owó éka méjì péré tóun tà nínú ilẹ̀ ọjọ́sí lòun yá mi yẹn o. àbámọ̀ ńlá ló jẹ́ fún mi.
ìwọ náà lè ra ọ̀kan nínú àwọn ilẹ̀ tó súnmọ́ títì dáadáa yìí ní àṣepa ọ̀bàdà òkú lẹ́dínwó. Queen City lẹ́ máa ríra ní 400,000 naira. ìrìn ìṣẹ́jú márùn péré ní sí títì márosẹ̀. Profit City 100,000 naira lẹ́ máa rí eléyìí rà. ìrìn ìṣẹ́jú mẹ́wàá ní sí títì márosẹ̀. pé 08092944848. April 8 làǹfààní yìí máa kásẹ̀ ńlẹ̀.
Abeokuta, congratulations, yo! Hospitality industry leader, don land the capital of Yoruba land. Don't open. Customer plus include leisure with proper cleanliness. Now academy suit to get am plus include Olympic size swimming pool with security now watertight for our restaurant. You go Baladu Continental and the local food with the checkele money. Everything about academy suit now quality with unbeatable low price. So come match now to Academy Suit, went and Dagidigba beside Abadia Center Mosque, MKO Abiola Way, Abeokuta, Abikukuma. They call this number 0817-6666-6601. Academy Suit, na home away from home.
àṣeyọrí gan làgbà iṣẹ́ gbogbo aláṣeyọrí ayọ̀ aláṣeyọrí class home and property limited lónìí ọ̀pọ̀ ilẹ̀ wọn ti di wámútìrẹ́ báyìí lórí owó tí kò ga ju ara lọ randa extension hilltop máwùkọ́ àti kọ̀bàpẹ́ 100,000 ní plọ̀tì yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni lóko wọn ti di ọ̀pọ̀ yùkẹ́ mọ́lọ́kẹ̀dẹ̀ 25,000 ní plọ̀tì kan bẹ̀ kọ̀bàpẹ́ alábàtà òṣèlè 30,000 ní plọ̀tì ẹ̀rà plọ̀tì mẹ́ta kẹ́ẹ̀gbá ìdajì sí ó sì jẹ́ ékàlẹ́ra òdìdí lẹ́gbàsí pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àǹfààní tẹ́ẹ̀jẹ̀ lórí ilé oko wọn torí pé àwọn onírà àti onímọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ ti wà níkàlẹ̀ láti là ń lọ́yẹ̀ lórí kan tẹ́ gbèsè ilé oko tẹ́ ẹ bára 4 mọ̀túndì Abiola Way Ilego Dele Express furniture ni wọ́n wà ọlọ́ṣogbo Abẹ́òkúta.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o, Saturday on the 2, on the 9, on the 16, on the 23 àti Saturday. Sọ̀nà òbí roundabout òkè ilé wa Abẹ́òkúta. Láàrin aago mẹ́jọ òwúrọ̀ sí aago mọ́kànlá àárọ̀ ní sátidé márààrún. 5 prophetic Saturdays in April. Àkókò òmìnira kúrò nínú gbogbo àjàgà ayé. Tó bá di Friday April 15. Ọjọ́ yẹn ló bọ́ sọ́jọ́ ìbí ìrìnsẹ̀ Ọlọ́run aláyé. Prọfẹ̀tà Kàdé Adéọlá bàbá testimony. Ó máa lárinrin gàlágà jù. Máa bọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìgòròrò kan tó máa fi gbàdúrà. Ọlọ́run orí òkè testimony prayer mountain kò tó gbọ́ Abẹ́òkúta. Ó máa jẹ́rìí ara ẹ̀. Ní Swiss
a bá ń fọgbọ́n ṣe é. ní gbẹ́tàn rẹ̀ ilẹ̀ oko mo lọ́gẹ̀dẹ̀ orílẹ̀ ìlúgùn ọlọ́run dá 25,000 ní plọ̀tì báyìí ilẹ̀ àgbẹ̀ kọ́bápá alábàtà ọ̀pẹ́jì 30,000 per plot bẹ́ẹ̀ bára plọ̀tì mẹ́ta ìdajì lẹ́gbàsì ó sì jẹ́ éèkà lẹ́ra ẹ̀ ó gbòdìdì kan sí 39 NT road ọgbẹ̀ abẹ́òkúta 07044648338 07044648338 gbé ìgbésẹ̀ lónìí àwọn ètò kọ́kọ́rọ́ kù. ọjọ́ kẹwàá oṣù tá a wà yìí láǹfààní yìí ó pè.
Don't dare touch that dial. It's Splash, your integrity station.
Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama. Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM.
Welcome back to Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM. We'll try as much as possible to quickly run through the comments. We have quite a number of them. I'll start with Facebook. Santeri and Akinola Olarantimi said, good morning to the presenters and the guests in the house. Baba Ayodo, Ayobam Dede. It's been a while, sir. I believe we have senators and reps representing this particular geopolitical zone, Ogun West. What have they done at the upper echelon to ensure that this sufferness in Ogun West comes to an end, especially in terms of border closure? We have many of our youths who are into clearing and forwarding in a legit way and other businesses going on at the border areas. Look at the goods and other provisions that are imported into our country. They are being bought at cheaper prices. And to crown it all, people from Okeodon, Ajilete, Okweye, Ayetoro, Ilashe, and a number of names, Idiroko, Ajegunle, and its environs are Dele Ayodo has refuted that. Let me see other comments. Example given by P should leave APC for the founding fathers. Well, there's a question here for him, but he has left. That question is from Adekunle Adimula. Well, quite a number of comments. Fashola Dako said Honorable Jide Omowurare was a member of Lagos State House of Assembly, and he went ahead to contest for a Senate seat in Osun State and won. So the narrative of Senator Yayi's movie is fallacious. I think I will just have to pause here because of time.
On Twitter, Akorede Camille says, good morning, Uncle Dele Ayodo. Someone submitted here yesterday that for Yewa agenda to see the light of the day, the people from that side will have to. Abdul Hamid Abiodun sends this one in. He says, I want to install a successor syndrome. Was the of the PDP in 2011, and GNI is allowed to go to the Senate, it would have been a different scenario. He may have become a senator and have a now stronger base to contest as governor. So to me, his calculations are not right, and now coming to contest as Senate may be an effort too late to come to fruition. Politicians should always weigh their options before making conclusion regarding what to contest for. GNI should shine his eyes as 2023 approaches. Olua Ferrami from Okemoson says, in everything we do, let's put integrity. One person can't own the world. We should all fear God. Okay, well, it's rather generic. This final comment that is just coming in reads, I have a feeling that politics in Nigeria is being designed and played just as the politicians want it, not as the masses think it should be. He mentions Falike again, says James Falike of Lagos, Kogi is another example. That's from Tajuddin from Magbon. And that's about it. Let's head over now to the newspapers.
All right. Apologies to everyone who dropped comments on our Facebook page. Because of time, we won't be able to take all of them. There are maybe up to 30 comments there. But we're approaching the season, and we'll continue to try as much as possible. Because of the kind of conversation we had yesterday, it is only right and even professional to try as much as possible to strike a balance here. So let's get to
like
the
55
newspapers.
comments
On Facebook.
That's what it says.
Wow. And for those that try to reach us via the phone lines as well, we explained yesterday we are very much pressed for time because of the Ramadan season.
And also diesel costs.
We don't sell out, so to say. But let's get to Dele Ayodo now. And I have the Vanguard newspaper with me here. And
I have Nigerian Tribune.
The headlines: Sultan's GNI, Catholic bishops lambast federal government on insecurity. With the riders, any government incapable of protecting the lives of its citizens has lost the moral justification of being there. That's according to the GNI. Catholic bishops FG say authorities must arrest, prosecute those behind Abuja Kaduna train attack. And Ohaneze disagrees as Soludo offers amnesty to agitators in Anambra. 2023, Oshiomole, who clocked 70 yesterday, declares for Senate. Ondo NURTW crisis, Akeredolu Union Bika over Park. Why we sacked Abuja Imam who preached anti-government sermon. Mosque Committee 2023. Wike, 3 other governors consult with Babangida Absalami in Mina. You can't fight insecurity, keeping students at home. ASU tells government. Electricity, power generation plunges to 495 megawatts in 3 plants on grid. Train attack, 146 passengers unreachable, according to the NRC.
Study in Lagos water. Sultan's GNI says no moral justification for any government that cannot protect its citizens. Says well-orchestrated train attack is reprehensible. UN officials say 1.2 million people are at risk of explosive mines in Borno, Adamawa, Yobe. DSS arrests nursing mother, released soon by LCC. On train attack, 64 numbers of passengers non-existent. That's according to NRC. 14 missing passengers found alive, 8 dead, it says. Those are the headlines from Nigerian Tribune.
All right, Dele Ayodo is still with us for this segment of the show. So much about insecurity. Governor Soludo initially last week directed civil servants not to obey the IPOB sit at home.
2 weeks ago. Actually.
2 weeks ago. But we saw that Monday it didn't work because people still stayed at home. And yesterday again made that announcement, but also added that is granting amnesty to agitators in Anambra, but Ohaneze and Igbo seem to disagree with the governor.
I know that such order won't work. It won't work because it's not that people are comfortable or happy sitting at home. I said it's not that they are happy with IPOB, but they need to save themselves because government has shown that they cannot provide the safety for them. It's as simple as that. Government, as those who try to obey government and disobey IPOB have seen the consequence, bitter one. So I think it would be foolish for anybody who knows this not to find a way. It is so glaring now that there's no government protection. So the first protection, like many of us would take, is from God, and then you make the protection yourself. It's as simple as that. So no matter what order, which order, where the order goes, from the governor of Anambra State, the people are obeying themselves, their intuition, not IPOB, not... Because IPOB have shown the capability to terrorize, to punish them. Why? That's just the situation.
The ongoing, the ripples from the train attack. Now, according to this headline, 22 villagers have been feared kidnapped hours after IGP has declared that highway safe. And then the NRC also saying 64 numbers of passengers non-existent, 14 missing passengers found alive, 8 dead, it said, and there's still some who are missing even now. With everything that's happened since then, it has sort of uncovered some discrepancies with how the train system is run. With NRC's revelation now that some of the numbers of passengers are non-existent, there are allegations of the personnel of the railway who sometimes do fraudulent things like buy the seats and all that, and then also securing that particular stretch, or even securing the stretches of Nigeria where people fly off on and they risk getting kidnapped. What do you make of all these?
Lola, let's want to add something?
No.
Let's dwell on the incident itself. Let's play down those descriptions, see as they do. I witness it. Again, let me commiserate. It's unfortunate that it happened, but it can be saved. It will have been saved. It's related to what I said about the situation in Anambra, the inability of government to protect us. That's what is shown. And let me also add this. I'm not an alarmist. I'm not scaring people. What happened in the train between Kaduna and Abuja can also happen between Lagos and Ibadan route. I'm not scaring anybody. I'm just calling the attention of government or those who do to immediately also do not wait till it happens before they do something. I've used that train severally, and each time I've gone on air to point this same thing out. As soon as you leave Agbado from Alagomeji, where you take off from, down to Ibadan, you are exposed to any danger. You see people as close, the distance between the train moving is the same distance between me and Lola now. It's so close, they can do anything. In some areas, you see houses built, the house is at the top, and the train is just right under it passing through. Anybody can throw anything from that, but because they are seeing the train afar, and no security patrolling those routes. Inside the train itself, I don't know if they are undercover people, but I am very, very sure that they don't have it. The uniform ticket, and that's all. They need to improve this security aspect. Very fantastic. Since the first day I use it, I never go back to the park to go to Lagos by road. But like I said, each time I come back, I see this very open opportunity for evil minds to operate. And I'm sure that is why I've never used. This is what government should look at. There are several means of ensuring that the security, the whole Fakafiki train that we do, cities like Lafenwa, Ido, Kafanshan, Zungeru, Jos, and so many were developed as a result of this trade and very secured. 24 hours business that you can sleep or far, all the others. Let this current one create a situation like that where there will be a gap where security can quickly move in between the next stop and the other stop. We don't have it. It's too lonely. Too lonely. Like I said, very comfortable means of transport as it is today, but it's too porous, it's too open for evil minds to do a dastardly act.
The underlying question behind these security attacks is, what will it take for the government to end insecurity? And I'm going to tack this on to the NIN SIM linkage with the new directive by the NCC that the federal that telco should bar those who have not linked their lines. Now, in defense of the federal government, they have extended this deadline multiple times. But part of the drive that got Nigerians to register, not just because, it was made mandatory, is also because we believe that when government has our information, they can gather intelligence better. So what really is the purpose behind this NIN SIM linkage? If, we can't seem to link these bandits who often call those whose families
straight answer to that. But what I know is that process in theory is a very good one. On paper, it will have helped us. But seeing what the output is, the consequence, I think I've not seen anything. Just the resolve by those who we have mandated, those who have given the power to do that job to, just resolve that I'm going to ensure that we protect people. Believe it. Everything we go. Because they know, I know, we know what they should do. But they are not being done. Go back to this same leakage, like I said, on paper in theory, fantastic. It will have helped us. But today, I wonder, how can people kidnap, collect ransom, not 10 naira, not 1,000, thousands, millions of naira, not even in bank transfer, in cash, and they cannot trace it. They make different arrangements, sometimes up to 20 calls to get this payment fixed, wrapped up, and yet they cannot be discovered. So,
But at some point, what was being parroted was that intelligence gathering is the problem, is our weakness, our Achilles heel with our fight against insecurity. But, I mean, with all these much digital trail, and still no progress recorded. But let's move on to another story. We only have a few minutes.
I'd like to check this one. Ondo and URTW crisis, Accredited Union Bika over park management system. We're seeing a number of governors start adopting this park management system now. Many people have talked about how much money flows into the hands of these, union guys. So do you think we're seeing an end to the monopoly of these unions, especially the NURTW?
Gboyega and everybody, don't be deceived by the change the change in nomenclature. The park management system. What that just does for government is Gboyega worked for the other person. Lola worked for me. I'm likely to be able to use this one. So the Gboyega who worked for me, Lola worked for me, and the other person becomes a member of the park management. That's what happened. And then we legally, officially keep away those who will not work for us. That's the difference. There is no difference in between the actors. It's just a way of straightening it so that all those nomenclature is to see the same process. It is still the same people. You still find them out people to collect so-called tickets for government, and the tickets still go through the same route, the sharing formula or the sharing method. They may have changed the sharing formula, but the sharing method is still the same. So don't be deceived by the nomenclature.
All right.
It's just a legal way, a formal way of keeping some people out of it.
All right, there's another story here, and I saw someone ask a question on Twitter as to why any party that wants to, or anyone that wants to contest, has to visit Babangida and Abdusalami. And Wike and 3 other PDP governors yesterday consulted with Babangida and Abdusalami.
You must add Obasanjo to it too. They will come. Yes, they will come. They visit them.
Why do you think that is?
Honestly, I've also searched my head for those things. I look at, not in theory, practically the political value of these people as well. It's not as big as what those who consult them see.
Or are they the cabal? That's
I think that's if I go with these people, but I think the dilemma what you said, these are people who owns Nigeria. They have their way of linking you with some things that we don't know or may not make sense to us, but really in the state. Still stayed relevant for that purpose that I think.
All right, finally, before we go, Oshomole declared for Senate yesterday at 70.
It is right. What is wrong in it?
The age. Do you think?
Well, I don't see anything wrong in the age. At 90, I don't see anything wrong in it. For the legislative arm, that's one where we continue to miss it and we continue to query that they have not done anything. South. That's what they do in the north. We probably will have straightened so many things. that is wrong legislatively and by extension in our governance. I don't see anything wrong in it.
All right.
Okay, well,
we have to go. Once again, we apologize. It is the season, but Panorama returns tomorrow. Lola and Gboyega Fayon will be here. But in the meantime, my name is Gboyega. Olaniyi, thank you very much. Chief Dele Ayodo.
No, I'm not a chief. I'm just Dele Ayodo. Oh, you said chief.
Yeah,
okay,
chief.
Myself and Gboyega will take you on another issue of the day as well as another newspaper review segment. My name is Lola Meduteni. Good morning.
I just gotta tell you,
we're gonna turn it up.
Pumping through the rock city and all